Hi, I'm Barbara. Welcome to Mess to Yes. When I was at Highpoint Market this year, I collected lots of ideas for you. And you're going to be seeing a lot of the images that I collected there that were very expensive, and then I'm going to be showing you a less expensive way to do them. Right now, fine furnishings with a seashell or coastal theme are very hot. And it's not just for hot weather climates, and it's not just for summer. It's year-round. The trick is to transform the seashell into something a little bit more high style. So I'm going to show you, I found these great mirrors and artwork done by a designer at Highpoint. I will put photos of those over on the blog. Make sure you go over there and check that out at yesspaces.com. And subscribe, because you get all the directions, step-by-step, project lists, everything you need to complete these projects are posted over there. So, I started with a frame that I bought at Home Goods. I know it's called Home Something Else in different parts of the country. You can list that in the comments down below if you know what it's called in different parts of the world. Simple, 1995. I just liked the lines. It's wood, even though it looks shiny, so I know it's going to take my paint. I need a primer, and I need 4 awesome seashells. Now you could just do one in the center, like a really large, pretty one, but how boring would that be for our purposes? Just know that you could do that. If I glued one seashell to a frame, I think you would feel ripped off. So instead, I'm just really upping the ante and gluing 4 on. Don't you feel so much better? So, we are going to take those seashells and adhere them on the 4 corners with the bottoms facing the center. Now, it's going to be important when you're doing this to look at your seashells and put the ones that match the closest in size opposite each other. So like this one's a little bit larger. I'm going to put that on a bottom corner. I'm going to put the 2 most perfect ones in the top corners, ones that match each other the best. Now, seashells are never going to be perfect because they're natural objects, so don't stress yourselves out about it. But, you know, try and be a little bit purposeful about where you place them. I'm putting the very center of the shell pointing right at the corner. I'm not caring so much about these wings, as long as the radiating part of the shell starts right as the corner, because my wings are never going to be identical. And don't try and break your shell to make them identical, you'll just ruin it. So, though I got this at Home Goods, and seashells are very hot right now, they had bags of seashells there for like $14.95, or, I mean, there was a big shell like this that was $15 all on its own. So I went to Michael's, $3.99. $3, I think, actually, $2.99 each, something like that. I'll check my receipts. You'll see it in the project list and the budget. Then I'm going to use my Loctite construction adhesive. I'm going to make sure it adheres to the ridges down here and the ridges at the top so it doesn't come loose. If you need to, run a piece of blue tape over it to hold it down in position while it's drying. Make sure that you get anything that oozes out, wipe it away before it dries, because in this particular case, once this adheres, we're going to use a glossy paint over the whole thing, and if you have any glue strings or pieces coming out, they're going to become shiny and really visible with our glossy paint, so don't do that. So, adhere your shells, then, literally, go to the aisles of Home Depot. Don't buy your paint at Michael's. I love you, Michael's, but you charge too much for your paint. Home Depot's $2 less. It's like $5.69 over at Michael's, $3.49, $3.79 over at Home Depot. If they're close enough and you need a lot of paint like I do, then it's worth it to go over there. If you have a lot of kids and not a lot of time, okay, pay the extra $2. But I'm not putting it on my budget because you're lazy and don't want to drive across town. Now, they come in any wide array of colors. So I'm showing you here some of the coastal themes. You can stay in some of the coastal colors. They're very hot right now, but you don't have to. You could do something dramatic like a dark blue. You could go to a vivid green or a pink or a deep red. You could do black, of course, and white, but we're not going to do that. That's not exciting enough for us. So we're going to take this outside. This does have some fumes, so I like to go ahead and use it in a ventilated area. And then once we do that, we're going to use paper and mask off the whole mirror because I don't want to open the back and remove the mirror. And then we're just going to spray the whole thing with primer first and then our high gloss color. I think, actually, I'm going to use this one. You'll see how it looks in just a minute.